Twins Cliff and Chris Paul couldn't stop talking about the assist. And yet, a new question
Daddy, where does this come from?
rendered them speechless. As the Pauls delved deep into their lineage, they discovered something extraordinary. In 1922, local shopkeeper Clifford Paul, senior, inspired employees at State Farm, a thriving new insurance agency, to be there for customers like a good neighbor. While Christopher Paul, senior, revolutionized the game of basketball by suggesting players pass the ball to other players who could then score. Delighted that their ancestors invented the assist, the Twins could rest assured the gift of giving was in their genes. Allegedly. Nothing endures like the legacy of an assist.
Welcome to the final episode of The Rush. I'm Hannah Duncan.
And I'm Michael Hardwick. This week we bring you softball highlights as they played Williamsville and Quincy, tennis and track CS8 meets, and girls soccer regional action. We also have baseball highlights against Rochester and a couple special guests joining us. Let's go ahead and start the show.
Last Friday, the Williamsville Bullets softball team came to Glenwood. First, they finished a game delayed from earlier in the week against Porto with a game-winning RBI single in the 7th to claim the Sangamo Champs title outright. The Lady Titans softball team battled the talented Lady Bullets next. Williamsville had a very impressive record going into their final regular season game at 22-6 with an undefeated 8-0 in the Sangamo Conference. Skylar Doherty pitching for the Titans. She ran into some early trouble with runners on. A short hit isn't fielded in time and a run comes home to score Emma Walbert, and it's 1-0 Williamsville.
Peyton Long pitching for Williamsville. The pitch gets away and Glenwood is able to score with the quick feet of Olivia McClintock.
That'll tie it at 1, and then with runners on base again for the Bullets, Glenwood shows their defensive skills as Sarah Bingenheimer's throw just beats the runner to get the out at first. Then Angie Ford throws and Janik Squibb tags out the runner, trying to advance to third. Great defensive skills from Glenwood on their side too.
And Williamsville will be right back at it though, and a hit would escape past the infield along the third base line, and it will bring the run in to score for Williamsville. And as you see there, and then another hit to left brings in a run for the Bullets, keeping the inning going.
The Bullets would increase their lead to 3-1 there, and then Callie Sharp will bunt, and then the throw to first is dropped, so she is safe, and another run will come home in Molly Walter. 4-1 Williamsville as they tack onto their lead, and they keep increasing their lead against Glenwood.
Errors continued to hurt the Titans as an infield hit isn't handled, allowing one run to score, and all the runners at the bases will be safe.
5-1 Williamsville now. Amanda Balster would come up to the plate and try to bring a little energy back to the Titans with a deep hit. That will go to the fence, stays in though, and she'll slide safely into third for a triple. But Glenwood can't get much going in this game, and Williamsville finishes their regular season with a 10-5 win over Glenwood. The Lady Titans, after the loss, dropped to an 18-11 record. The Lady Titans came out strong, though, as they looked to rebound against Quincy on Monday. Sydney Palaskis-Laher was on the mound this time for the Lady Titans. She's really stepped up this year as a young talent in the face of some pitcher injuries. She'll get a strikeout to end the half inning here. She's a great performer for Glenwood, and she definitely has a lot of potential in the future. Then Sarah Bingenheimer up to the plate for Glenwood. She'll ground it, and the Blue Devils get the out at first, but a run will come in to score for Glenwood, and they take the lead.
And then Olivia McClintock bunts, and her speed allows her to reach first safely, also driving a run with Amanda Balster crossing the plate for the Titans.
Glenwood changing it up in this game as they grab the early lead. Then a high pop fly will be caught by a sliding Nicole Habercorn for Glenwood as they show their defensive skills again in this game. She makes the nice sliding catch to get the out for Glenwood. They were really shining on all sides in this game.
And then Palaskis helping her own cause drive with an RBI, driving in Janik Squibb. And there's the hit to left, driving in the run, helping Glenwood out there. And then another high pop fly drops for the Lady Titans. as you see it here, another pop fly, scoring 2 more runs for the Titans.
Glenwood jumping ahead in this one and taking a big lead over Quincy early, but they still weren't done yet and they kept going. Sarah Bingenheimer next up again. She's been a great talent also. Her grounder will slide through to the outfield, and Amanda Balster runs in safely to add on to the Titans' lead. Then Angie Ford, a big powerhouse for Glenwood, up to bat, will drive another hard hit to the fence, and Carolyn Frankie will score. Haley Eisnagel will slide into third, and she just avoids the tag to be safe for Glenwood, and they increase their lead more.
And then deep sac fly will bring in Eisnagel, and as Glenwood keeps finding ways to score, as there's the sac fly to the deep outfield, as it brings in the run, brings in Eisnagel to score. And then here's the pitch, and then there's an overthrow, as you see teammates talking there. There's a pitch and an overthrow to third, trying to get the runner, so Josie Long runs in to score for the Titans.
Glenwood really taking advantage of some errors there, and then Skylar Doherty would come in to pitch for Glenwood after a great performance by Pulaskis. Here, Carolyn Frankie would rob Quincy of a hit with a great diving catch to end the top of the inning for Glenwood. She's really stepping up, and some young talent too. There's lots of young players on the team. Then with Glenwood up 9-0, Janik Squibb up to bat would hit a deep shot. That one's gone, and it's a 3-run walk-off home run to end the game in Mercy Rule. Lady Titans win 12-0, the final score. Amanda Balster had 2 hits and 2 RBIs for Glenwood, and Janik, as you saw her there, went 2 for 4 with the 3-run home run to end the game in Mercy Rule. These softball highlights are brought to us by PK&J Media. The Lady Titans will take on Belleville East tomorrow at 4:30, and they will start their postseason run on Tuesday in the regional semis, which will be held at Taylorville High School.
The Glenwood boys tennis team had a strong performance in a very talented CS8 group at Washington Park last Friday.
The stage was set as the Titans' tennis rivals, the Springfield Senators, showed up with fierce readiness to compete. Last season, we saw the Springfield claim the doubles title, beating out Glenwood in the last match. Juniors Zach Tenenhouse and Ben Lubkeman squared off against last year's reigning champs Gil and Latif in an epic matchup. Tenenhouse won the singles matchup last year and looked to continue his success as he used an attack strategy that worked early on, but he was slowed down by Springfield. Lubkeman also played great as he continued to block shots and repel any long shots his way, but Springfield's Gil and Latif were well known for their tough play, and they would go on to win that doubles match. Next, we have seniors Sanam Patel and Jake Vance as they faced off against 4th-seeded Burke and Hughes. Patel, who has been struggling early on in the season, made up for that lost time by playing quick-footed offense, playing up to the net. He made some great plays that saved his match. Vance put up some strong serves that also kept Springfield off balance and uncoordinated, causing some open holes to drop shots in for Glenwood. Patel and Vance would ultimately beat Burke and Hughes to place 3rd overall in doubles, a good day for them as well. Then coming down to the final stretch, the Titans looked to tie up the conference overall with a win in singles. Kevin Zhang would lead the fight as he faced off against Springfield's tough Raj Sina. Zhang was given lots of opportunities to finish off Sina, but finally ended the match when he won his 3rd set there. And Springfield would go on to win the doubles CS8 championship, but still will share the honors with the Titans as the boys close out the season with a very strong performance. These highlights brought to us by Kreckles in Pawnee.
Boys tennis sectionals are at Washington Park in Springfield this weekend.
Now it's time for our first commercial break. When we come back, The Rush will bring you track and girls soccer. Stay tuned.
Never getting married.
Never.
Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent Steve Bedford in Chatham. State Farm is there.
Welcome back to The Rush. The girls' track qualifiers had sectionals at Rock Island High School last Friday, and let's take a look at the results. At the Rock Island Invite, East St. Louis won with 90 points, O'Fallon second with 87 points, and Alton third with 64 points. Glenwood came in ninth with 27 points, and state qualifiers for Glenwood include Allison Warner in the long jump, and Cassidy Garner in the 1600, and Taylor Justison in the 800. Also on Friday, the boys track runners had a CS8 meet at Memorial Stadium in Springfield. Let's take a look at that. To start the meet, we have Ricky Brown getting some high jump, getting some height. Ricky would go on to go straight to the long jump and then right back to high to finish the third in both events.
In the long jump, he had a jump of 20 feet, 6 inches, and in high jump, he had 6 feet. He had a really strong performance on the day for Glenwood to get them started off well. Then we'll head over to the track in the 3,200 meter relay looking for state times. Justin Montre leads off, and he's closed by Skelly. Glenwood would get first in that with an 8:06. Then in another relay event, the 4x100, David Jones gets a good start, but Springfield still wins it. Titans come in second with a very close 43.84 seconds.
Shifting gears back to the 2 mile, sophomore Eli Rudin comes in third place with a time of 10 minutes and 36 seconds. And then with the hurdles, ready for the 110, Robbie Hansen glides over the hurdles for a 5th place finish with a time of 17.46 seconds.
As you've seen him close it out there, then we'll move on to the hurdles for the 100. Senior Cameron Corner muscles his way to a 4th place conference finish in 11.37 seconds. A very tight race there all the way to the end, but he'll make it in 4th place. If you thought Corner was fast, just wait until you see this 800 meter run. Heath Warren and Josh Cable led the whole race, with Heath setting a meet record of 1:51 with Cable 2 seconds behind, and Logan Capps for the Titans finished in 6th with a time of 2:03. Great race for them, and especially Heath Warren, always been very talented. Then in the 4x200 relay, the Titans would finally get the Senators, with Cameron Corner out-leading Springfield's Wendell Burns with a 1:29 as he closes out the race to just barely get first place.
Now some more Robbie Hansen in this meet. Hansen, the junior this time, runs a 4th place, 42 second 300 meter hurdle race. And then the last event was the mile, featuring a battle between Warren of Springfield and Skelly of Chatham. Skelly leads the first lap, then Warren takes over on the final lap, making Skelly settle for a 2nd place finish with a time of 4 minutes and 26 seconds.
Still a great race for Glenwood though. Springfield, especially with the talent of Heath Warren, won the meet with a score of 174. Lanphier in second with 157, and Glenwood came in third with 120.5. Glenwood were CS8 champs in the 4x200, 4x400, and 4x800 relays.
The Titan runners competed as well on Monday as Glenwood hosted the Co-Ed Capital Area Classic. And then let's go ahead and take a look at this highlight. And as we lead off with the boys open 800 with the favorite Josh Cable, we'd have some good competition. Corey Landon Skelly's cousin, ends up out-sprinting Cable to finish with a time of 1:56, followed behind by the rest of the pack, and Chris Durr, who'd come in 7th with a time of 2 minutes and 3 seconds. As you see the race finishing up there. And now on to the big relay 4x200 with all the seniors leading the way as you see the finish in the race. Now on to the 4x200 relay with all the seniors leading the way from Thompson to Brown to Walters, and at last to Corner. The Titans dominate this relay, finishing with a time of 1:30, winning the 4x200 relay.
They won this. Tony Rolfe was injured and didn't compete for Glenwood, but lots of other runners stepped up in his absence, and Glenwood still had a very strong performance. For the girls 1600, the Titans had junior Marissa Rios and freshman Allie Wynn working together as a team. The weather not looking good, but the two Titans still looking good together. Coming to the last 400 meters, Coach Garber will be excited to see what his runners will do in the last lap. Freshman Allie Wynn will break away to place 3rd over Rios with a time of 5:42. Rios will come in right behind her, though, as you'll see coming down to the end, Allie Wynn with a 3rd place time and Rios right behind her. It would still continue to pour rain, even for the boys 1600. Landon Skelly takes it by storm. Get it? Thanks, Paul Gigante, for that. And with a fast 4:27 to come in 1st place in the race. Landon, a great talent for Glenwood. And then another great performance on the girls' side of the meet. We'll jump over to Allison Warner as she enters the 200 and finishes 1st overall with a time of 27.11 seconds. She also won the long jump, the triple jump, and the 200-meter dash in her 1st time running the 200 outdoors this season. Then in the final relay of the night, the girls 4x400 relay, senior Ellen Kostick starts it, and senior Victoria Danmole will try to end it, but she's just passed in the end to finish with a 2nd place time of 4:26. Not quite how Glenwood wanted to end their race, but still a good time for 2nd place, good enough. Let's see if the guys 4x4 would have as good of a race. Justin Montre will show a good start, and he's later finished by senior Ryan Walters for 1st with a time of 3:28. A good meet for Glenwood overall, even though they were missing some key runners. Still a great meet as they finished 1st in the 4x400.
The girls' track state competition is at Eastern Illinois University today through Saturday, while the boys have sectionals at Collinsville tomorrow at 2 p.m.
The girls' soccer team hosted the regional semis on Tuesday as they began their run with a powerful offensive performance against Bethalto Civic Memorial. The Lady Titans face off against the Bethalto Eagles for their 1st regional game this season, looking to make a good run. Already up 3-0, the girls are looking to expand their lead. Lauren Bemo would pass to Kane Randall. She gets the assist as she passes it to Katie Held, who runs up to grab the ball. She would score after the goaltender drops the ball, pushing it into the net for the 4-0 lead for Glenwood. A great early start in this one. The ability to keep communicating really helped the Lady Titans because they were able to continue to pass and take more shots even after they were blocked the 1st time. Perriott caught up by defenders, passes to Dixon, who would score, putting the girls up 5-0 before the end of the 1st period. Dixon would have a great offensive game as she would score 2 goals and 1 assist for Glenwood. Great performance for her here and great performance for Glenwood overall. They have a really comfortable lead. Then at the beginning of the 2nd, Bemo would slide the ball past the Bethalto defense. She would have it taken away, only to gain it back and pass it to Held. Glenwood just kept coming here, and then her shot would get kicked back to Kane Randall, who will eventually score from midfield for Glenwood. Lady Titans now leading 6-0 over Bethalto. Great lead for them. Kept getting more insurance goals for them as they kept scoring. Just kept coming ahead on offense as you see the score there. Then lastly, Held once again will score after Kane Randall's shot. She's unassisted this time, and she puts the 7-0 lead on the board. The Lady Titans would win their 1st postseason game against Bethalto. 7-0 the final score. Demi Dixon with 2 goals and 1 assist, and Katie Held with 2 goals and 1 assist as well. These highlights are brought to us by Wheel Fast in Chatham. The girls are at home for the regional final tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Now it's time for our last commercial break of the day. When the Rush comes back, we'll bring you baseball and some special guests. Don't go away.
Getting married.
Never.
Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent Steve Bedford in Chatham. State Farm is there.
Welcome back. The Glenwood baseball team had a good matchup with the Rochester Rockets last Wednesday in a very close game.
The Glenwood Titans faced off against the Rochester Rockets in baseball last Tuesday.
Voiceovers.
Coach Mooney was honored before the game, receiving a commemorative bat presented to him by his grandchildren for reaching 800 wins. His achievements include 805 wins, 6 coach to reach 800 wins, 2 state titles, 3 super sectionals, 7 sectional wins, 17 regional wins, and 15 outright CSA conference championships. Jacob Maton would take the mound for the Titans in this game. Christian Lett walks to load the bases for the Rockets, giving them yet another opportunity to score. The Titan offense could not seem to get going in this game, and that would be the theme as Brendan Hostetler pops out to the shortstop. Then later in the first, with Logan Cody at the plate, Tate Palmer's off for second, and he's able to steal it, but with the errant throw, he's able to advance to third, giving the Titans an opportunity to score with a runner at third and 2 outs. The stolen base and error ends up not being a factor, though, as Logan Cody grounds out to the second baseman to end the threat in the first inning. Then with first and third for the Rockets, Colin Etherton grounds out to the third baseman, and he throws it home just in time to stop the runner from scoring and increasing the Rockets' lead. Then in the sixth, Nick Baker comes around to score for the Rockets, increasing their lead further. The Rockets just keep piling on, though, as in the seventh, Ben Chapman singles to left, bringing another run in for the Rockets. The Titans would come out on the losing end of this game 5-1, losing to the Rochester Rockets, with Chase Kunzman reaching base 4 times for the Rockets. And even though the Titans struggled on offense, Jacob Maton had 2 hits for the Titans in this game. This highlight was brought to you by Chatham Wrestling.
The boys' game against Lincoln on Tuesday was canceled due to rain. Senior night is tomorrow against Lanphier at 4:30. Now joining us are 2 former Rush members, Mr. Ryan Bandy and Gavin Caruso. Mr. Bandy taught the class, and Gavin was a member of the class before he moved and graduated. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks. Hey.
So we're just going to be talking a little bit for our last episode about what the Rush has meant for you guys and how it's impacted you. So we'll start with Gavin. Just talk a little bit about what have you done in the field of media since you moved from Glenwood?
Well, I've been doing a lot of consulting, like stuff that has to do with media, marketing, language, and stuff like that, creating. So how the Rush helped me for that was they helped me do a lot of real-world applications. So that means like I went out and I interviewed people that I would have never have interviewed if I wasn't a part of the Rush. And I went out and I talked to coaches, and I did a lot of real-world application stuff in GCNN. And that's how the Rush really prepared me for the rest of my life.
That's awesome. And what has the program meant to you? You kind of talked about how it prepared you for your later life, but what does it mean to you, and how much of an impact has it had? Well,
coming in as a freshman, it was really, really cool to see what it was. The Rush was something that I really looked up to as a freshman because, you saw the big productions, you saw the final result, you saw the impact they had on others and stuff like that. So going into the program as a sophomore and really trying to get involved as much as possible was really cool to me because, I could really get that, that experience. I could really get that extracurricular out of it. And, it really gave me a lot of real-world application. So going through that was that was a great experience, and that's what it means to me.
Well, Bandy, I feel like you're getting a little impatient.
Oh, no, you're full director. Well, he wasn't giving the signal, but the director was.
I'm going to go ahead and move on to you. What are some of your favorite memories from GCNN or the Rush program?
Well, I think when all the kids were successful, we had a lot of things over the 9 years that I was here, a lot of success. There were a lot of failures along the way, but that was mainly kids not turning in their work. Gavin wouldn't know anything about that. You know, there's a lot of kids that just really came with great ideas, and the reason this program always succeeded were the kids that went above and beyond. And those kids that did, those are the memories I look back at. You know, the music videos, great graphics that we've seen on the Rush throughout the years. The kids just putting in a lot of hard work and dedication to make it a good program. Like, you know, you've been doing this for 4 years, and I see from where you were as a freshman, where maybe we get 2 words out of you now, and now you sound like a professional sports broadcaster. I think that's just phenomenal. That's, you know, some of my favorite students that I worked with were kids that, you know, started out maybe some of their strengths, they weren't, you know, Danny Fry couldn't edit worth anything, and by the end of it, he could edit a good quality piece. So that's the big thing, is taking areas that you may have a weakness in and, you know, building on that and turning it into a strength. I'd say that's also a favorite.
And talking about the different students that you've had, what have you learned about teaching high school students and how they work and their work ethic and stuff like that?
Well, I will say this, now that I'm a boss to many people that are getting paid, it's a lot easier having employees than having high school students. So, but I still love kids, and, you know, we work hard. What are we doing? Oh, okay, I saw a lot of
Why do you
signals.
keep banging your hands?
Sorry, I'm doing that again, yeah. But, you know, the big thing is this program, you have to put in a lot of work to be successful, and the kids that did, you know, it wasn't really about me pushing them as much as them having the dedication, having that drive. And those kids that did that, those are the ones that are succeeding now. You know, some of my former students they're doing well in college. I've had kids that have worked on Monday Night Football. One's an instructor at a college, you know, for broadcasting. So, you know, and they worked hard, and that's why they got to where they were.
And last question, Gavin, we'll go back to you. How did the Rush or GCNN impact you as a whole, and how can you see it impacting others, your friends or such like that?
Well, mainly the biggest reason was, you know, we would work hard all week long. You know, we would start that Friday, we would start that Saturday, you know, after doing a show, and we would videotape, we would edit, we would go through all the different steps and processes to making the show what it is. And, you know, all of the yelling and all of the, you know, all of the stuff that we had to go through to create that final product was something really, really cool. And then especially when we showed it on Friday and we got pats on our backs and, you know, we really could see the final result as a whole, and it was a really, really cool product. So seeing that, going through that, and actually having a finished result, which a lot of people don't get in high school, but being able to see that and see the reaction to that was something that really impacted me.
Thank you for your input, and thank you guys so much for coming on for our season finale. That's it for this episode and this season of The Rush. As we close this season, I would like to give a big thanks to all of our members this year, including my fellow seniors Zach Alio and Paul Giganti, as well as Michaela Leisman, Michael Hardwick, and Cody Flavin. And also, we'd like to give a huge thank you to Ms. Taylor for helping us through this year and for putting up with us every day. We really appreciate everything she's done for us and taught us. I know we'll all miss this program a ton, and it has meant so much to me throughout my high school career. Because of GCNN and The Rush, I'll be taking my experiences on to study broadcast and digital journalism and sports broadcasting at Syracuse University in New York. Thanks so much to all of our athletes, coaches, and viewers, as we could not have done this show without you. For the last time, as my fellow seniors want to join me, I'm Hannah Duncan, and thanks for watching.
Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. There you go. But I'm still in the middle of the frame,
Dude,
so it's okay.
Move.
Did you knock down your mic again?